1 hour drive from Melbourne is Geelong Racecourse. It's Cup Day, which has a real Chester feel to it and provides the perfect opportunity to catch up with an old friend. Remember this guy?
Inside the final furlong of the St. Ledger. Over on the far side it's Rule of Law. On the near side is Quip. Rule of Law has made just about every yard. Rule of Law wins the Ledger. It's a first British Classic for Kerrin McEvoy.
Widest of all, look at Warsan really flying home for Kerrin McEvoy, and Warsan has now grabbed the lead. He goes on by a half length from Scirocco, and the Grosser Price Fondbard is going to go to Warsan for Clive Britton and Kerrin McEvoy.
It's Dubawi who has the lead, but Whipper is coming in pursuit on the outside. It's Dubawi from Whipper inside the 100. Dubawi's running around a bit, but still in front of Whipper, and Dubawi wins the Jacques Le Marois. A marvellous race, a marvellous ride, and Dubawi has won the Prix Jacques Le Marois for Godolphin, for Saïd Bin Saror, for Kerrin McEvoy.
So Kerrin, it's a long time no see. How's things going in Australia?
Great, thanks Matt. Yep, settled in well. It's been 3 years now since I've been back from the UK, and we've got a nice team of young horses here and winning plenty of group races.
For a lot of us, we were really disappointed when you left the UK. Just looking back, what was the reason behind that? Because it sort of all happened quite suddenly. 1 minute you were there, the next minute you'd gone.
Yeah, it did happen quite quickly. Basically, Sheikh Mohammed and Dali offered me the job back here in Australia, and after consultation with both groups, Dali and Godolphin, it was decided that my position back here in Australia was quite a big one, and they basically left it up to me. You know, said it was my call, and it was very hard to walk away from, you know, both the UK racing and the great friends I've made over there. But yeah, I'm enjoying it back here in Australia, and part of a big team here, and I still miss the UK. You know, always keep in touch with the boys, and keep in touch with all the big race results.
What was it, a sort of homesickness? Your missus is here. Was it that, or was it money, Dali? What was the real pull?
No, it wasn't money. It was probably a combination of the Dali job being a big one, and obviously being first pick and first rider on some fantastically bred and well-trained horses here in Australia. And also, I think you're right, homesickness, and myself and my wife Kathy, we're about to start a young family. We've now got 2 young boys, and just to be closer to everyone, and probably another one was no M25 either. The traffic here in Australia is a little bit better.
We just had a look back at some of your big winners. Was winning the St. Ledger the highlight of your stint in the UK?
Yeah, definitely. The St. Ledger, on Dubawi, the Prix Jacques Le Marois, I think it's
Jacques Le Marois.
Marois, yeah. That was a huge win as well.
What a horse he was.
Yeah, he was a great horse. You know, to ride both Chaminade and Dubawi was a real thrill. And as I said, the Godolphin team were fantastic. Frankie was a great mentor, as were other guys like Jamie Spencer and Johnny Murder, Ted Durkin, great friends I made over there.
Would you ever go back?
I'd love to come back for a big meeting, whether it's the July Cup or Ascot, and Dali, John Ferguson and the team have said, you know, they'd welcome me over there for a couple of spins, a couple of rides. So I'm looking to do that in the next few years, maybe even next season.
For the Shergar Cup,
funnily enough, I've never been invited to the Shergar Cup. I know, I'd love to come. So hopefully we can get over there sooner rather than later.
I mean, Hugh Bowman wasn't bad, to be fair, but I mean, you know, you must be invited to the Shergar Cup. Sure.
Yeah, well, hopefully I'll cross my fingers, and as I said, Ascot's a fantastic track, and I can't wait to get over there, whether it's the UK July meeting or something like that. Even Glorious Goodwood, it's you know, I look back with fond memories over those 5 seasons I spent over there.
What about the good horses you've got in Australia at the moment? Certainly Seapoy and Helmet seem to be the big 2.
Yeah, both really nice 3-year-olds. One's by Exceed and Excel, and the other one's by Elusive Quality. And they're top-notch 3-year-olds. Probably some of the best horses I've ridden in Australia, both those 2. Been really dominant, not only in their own age group, but Seapoy's been dominant against older horses as well, as an early season 3-year-old in Australian time, Southern Hemisphere time. So they've been a pleasure to be a part of. They really push button. Helmet himself was a little bit erratic early in his career, but down in Melbourne, going the left-handed way of going, he's really turned it on, and they might sort of go overseas and perform for Godolphin over there, so I can't wait to see how they perform over in the UK.
Plenty of turmoil in British racing at the moment, particularly with the whip. We've got an Aussie in charge of the rules, Jamie Steer. Are you surprised that he just simply didn't implement Aussie rules as far as the whip is concerned?
Well, look, I think our rules here in Australia are working very well. Our initial rules, they sort of had to be tinkered around with, and there were a few changes made within the first 6 weeks or 2 months, and they seem to be working brilliantly.
What are you allowed to do?
Well, it's basically 5 hits with the forehand up until the last 100 metres, and if you're in contention for a win, second, third, fourth, fifth, or whatever the prize money's down to, then it's you can do what you like to win the race. So obviously be as vigorous as you like, within reason, you know. And so
you're allowed to use 5 hits forehand up to the last 100 metres.
Up to the last 100 metres.
And then inside the last 100 metres,
yep,
you can go wham bam, break your man within reason of the rules.
Within reason, obviously everyone's out there to ride their horse accordingly. And
that placates the punters who obviously want you to win.
Well, if you're in a finish, you know, you can still be quite vigorous to drive your horse over the line. And in a backhand manner, you can as many as you like in a backhand manner. The rules have been made that obviously backhand you can't hit them quite as hard as you do with the forehand. So our jockeys here in Australia have crossed over to these new rules fantastically well, and they seem to be working. So as you said, the UK is in a bit of turmoil at the moment. Hopefully they can just take a leaf out of our book and maybe even have the same rules that we have.
You know, on at the races now, Kerrin, Hugh Taylor is our ace tipster, best tipster in the world, we'd say. He used to be your agent. I mean, he's a complete anorak. I mean, was he an absolute anorak when he was booking your rides?
Oh, he was, definitely. He was a pleasure to work with, and he was an integral part of my success over there. Simon Crisford, he scouted him out for me when I came over initially, and I had a great association with Hugh. He'd always sort of point me in the right direction and get me on nice rides, and we had a good success rate in big handicaps and plenty of winners all over the countryside. And I can still keep in touch with Hugh. He fills me in with all the news on these UK horses coming out to contest at Caulfield Cups and Melbourne Cups. So I hear he's doing well, and it's great to hear.
He certainly is. But the message from Kerrin McEvoy to everyone back in the UK is that you're alive and kicking, and you know, Ascot, if they'd like you for the Shogo Cup, you'd be up for it.
Definitely. I can't wait to get over there and catch up with all my friends.